Welcome back. Breaking news, as I was just saying to Maurice Cousins of the Net Zero Watch organisation, a huge fire has erupted at a pavilion inside the venue of the COP30 convention, plunging the environmentalist conference into chaos. Emergency crews have rushed to control the blaze as video from the event shows flames and smokes engulfing the interior of the venue. Other videos show panicked evacuations of delegates and security trying to control the situation. I've seen some of it. It's very dramatic. So something big going on there. We'll try and keep you updated with that. In the meantime, welcome to the show to External Affairs Officer at the Free Speech Union, Connie Shaw. She's battled in here through our terrible tube system and she's made it at last. But listen, we need to talk about the free speech film that you were about to show at a cinema in East London, and they've cancelled you. The Rich Mix Cinema in Bethnal Green had agreed to screen Think Before You Post on November the 25th, but they've just revoked the booking, saying that it's against their values. This is a film about free speech. So free speech is against the values of Rich Mix Cinema, so it doesn't like freedom of speech.
No, you couldn't really make this up, Kev. Obviously, it's just the irony is off the charts. This is an excellent documentary made by Spiked Online. Tom Slater narrating the video, and it's actually featuring three of our really big cases at the Free Speech Union: Maxie Allen and Rosalind Levine, the parents who were arrested by 6 police officers. Got 20 grand, didn't they, yesterday? We've just won them back £20,000 with our help. Also had Jamie Michael. He was arrested, held on remand for 17 days, cleared by a jury in less than 17 minutes for a video he made on Facebook. It was completely innocuous. And also Allison Pearson, who was had the police visit her for a tweet that she deleted. So these are very important issues, and what's so hilarious about this institution is this place is meant to be a cultural arts venue. They've hosted a lot of
one of these groovy
and one thing they have on their website that they say that diversity is part of everything we do, but clearly diversity of opinion does not fall within that category. It's quite ironic, really. Yeah,
let's have a look at what they actually say. This is what was written to Tom Slater, often on Talk, a big presenter's friend, often with Julia Hartley-Brewer. He was told by email from the Rich Mix Cinema. Rich Mix, I mean, get a new name, it's so hard to say. The Rich Mix Cinema in Bethnal Green. Since confirming your booking, it has come to light that the content and speakers featured do not align with our values and mission here at Rich Mix. Our founding objectives are to support marginalised communities, primary communities facing racial inequity. What's this got to do with it? Promote intercultural understanding, eliminate racial discrimination and foster equality of opportunity through arts and culture. So to go back to our founding objectives are to support marginalised communities. The speakers do not align with our values and mission. So their values are that they don't like freedom of speech.
Of course, and they also forget that it's freedom of speech, which all of those other rights which they talk about rest upon. Without freedom of speech, we couldn't argue for all of the rights that they are arguing for. I mean, it's just so bizarre. And of course, Tom Slater pointed out that the person who wrote this email signed off with their pronouns. Another massive core value that they have is inclusivity, clearly not inclusive of differing opinions. We all know now what inclusive actually means. It actually means excluding everyone that doesn't align with their values, which is exactly what they have done here. It's to a huge detriment of themselves. It was going to be such an amazing event. Allison Pearson and Jamie Michael being there in person for a Q&A. They've just put themselves out of a huge business opportunity.
So this is a charity arts venue in Bethnal Green, not far from East London, and essentially what it's saying, so if you talk about that poor couple who had 6 coppers raid their house and they got arrested because they were part of a WhatsApp group that was a bit concerned about the teaching of their kids' school. They just said, not quite sure about the geography lessons, you know, the way parents do. School reports them, 6 coppers turn up at their house, they get arrested. Only yesterday they got £20,000 compensation. So the Rich Mix cinema presumably supports the police in this action.
Which again is quite ironic, because you imagine that these people probably talk a lot about police brutality, and obviously this isn't physical police brutality, but if we're going to talk about concerning shifts in politics, I think overreaching of the state and trying to police people's language, you know, if anything's a bit fascisty, I think it's probably that. And you'd imagine that these people are against authoritarian regimes, which is precisely what this whole documentary is raising the alarm about, is how authoritarian our police have been. And clearly this isn't an issue that these people want to deal with. And I'm sure if it was them on the receiving end, you know, in 10 years' time, when the shift happens, maybe inevitably, which it has done throughout history, there might be a time where they want to talk about their freedom of speech, and all of a sudden they won't be able to. You know, it works both ways. It's just absolutely ridiculous, and the irony is off the charts.
While you're speaking, we're just watching for the audience footage from the COP30 conference centre where there's been this huge fire. Yeah, I was going to say that what they think that because people who speak out in favour of free speech, they align that with right-wing thinking. That's what it is. These kind of people, they tend to support kind of, socialists don't like freedom of speech. Our Labour government don't like freedom of speech. They want it to be controlled. That's what's going on here, isn't it? You've got left-wing people who think those of us who say you should be able to say what you like, you shouldn't be arrested by the police for tweets, they think we're right-wing. That's what's going on here, isn't it?
I'd say if there are any staff members from Rich Mix Cinema listening to this, I think you'd be best advised to become a member of the Free Speech Union, because it sounds like quite a hostile environment. If you step out of line at the Rich Mix Cinema, then it seems like you might get into a bit of trouble. So if there's anyone listening who does work for this cinema, then you know where we are.
Yeah, well said, Connie. Thanks for struggling in. That's Connie Short, External Affairs Officer at the Free Speech Union.